Welcome back, me shipmates, and welcome to episode 3 of my recent gaming pickups. I'm so sorry I was not at the London gaming market. I was supposed to be there. One of my friends let me down the day before, and I really wasn't in the mood for going up to London on my own the day in the market. But the same day I thought I can't let the day go to waste, and I thought I've got to do something. So I messaged the new shop that's open in Brighton, Magic Whistle Gaming, and I messaged him on Facebook, and he said, I'm sorry, we're closed today, we're open between Tuesday and Saturday, but I've really interested, what are you after at all? So I said, there's nothing I'm after in particular. I told him about my situation with the London gaming market. He said, I'll tell you what, I'll open up, I'll let you have a look around. So I thought, great. So I got washed, got on the train, went down to London Road, just off main part of Brighton. And if you like your Japanese stuff, there's some good Japanese stuff there, mainly N64. If I was going to get some Japanese stuff, it'll probably be Super Nintendo, because you know the price of some of these sought after Super Nintendo games, they can get pretty high. But so show you what I got first. Firstly, my Dreamcast pickups. These were my main focus at the moment, has been the Dreamcast, because I don't feel like I've shown it much love. But when I look through the Dreamcast games I need, I feel like there's not really that many compared to other systems that I'm collecting for, because I'm not going for any full sets. Through watching like other people's videos, it's so painful to watch like large amounts of money spent out on like games I really wouldn't interest me at all. I know if you're going for a full set, you have to do these things, which I'm so glad I'm not. But anyway, this is one with the Dreamcast games I've got at the moment. So the very first in the series, probably one of the best as well, Soul Calibur. Secondly, I'm on a bit of a button bashing syndrome at the moment, so I've bought quite a few athletics games recently. This is one I actually used to own back in the day, Sydney 2000. Remember playing this with my mates a few times. Secondly, on with a button bashing theme, another athletics game, Espn Track and Field. I think this might even be the last, I don't know if it's part of the official Track and Field series, but is this the last Track and Field game that come out? I'm not too sure. There might have been one on the PS2. I'm not too sure about. And then again, on with the same theme, we have Virtual Athlete 2K. As I said, nothing really that special, just your that's the thing about the Dreamcast. I see it as like the last of the console arcade machines of that style of gameplay before everything went very narrative driven. And another two here. Secondly, I do own the first one, and that is Ready to Rumble Boxing 2. I know these games come out on several other consoles, but I felt like these were its home, so I had to have it on this. And then lastly is another great favourite, and that's Jet Set Radio. Another great game. As I said, I'll try not to get too much filler, as there's so many games I can fit into my game room, so the less crap I have in my game room, the better to me personally. There's Jet Set Radio. I always find this, I don't know how you feel, I always get more nervous than anything when ordering a Dreamcast game off of eBay or any online site. I feel the slightest knock or the slightest fall can just crack the case, because I literally had one come through the other day and they hadn't wrapped in anything but a piece of rubbery plastic. There was nothing supporting it. I was like, how can you look after something for so pristine for over 20 years, that when you want to sell it, the most point when you should keep it in best condition of all, you just mess it up straight away, send it with no protection, guaranteed to get damaged. Never understood the logic in that. But anyway, going on to my next pickups. As I said, the game I went down to in Brighton, its name was Magic Whistle Gaming. It's only opened recently. It's inside an indoor market. So I really appreciate for him opening up for me on his day off when he said he'd open up for me. I'm trying to remember which games I got from here. I know none of them Dreamcast games was. This one definitely was. And I think this actually came out on the Dreamcast. And that is the sure it's a Mega Drive sequel. Donald Duck Quack Attack on the PlayStation 1. As I said, I'm not too sure. I think this came out on the Dreamcast. But if so, maybe that should have been the one I got it on. But oh well. Secondly, a sequel to the original on the PlayStation. It also came out on the Saturn, Reloaded. These were from Magic Whistle Gaming in Brighton. I think if I look at their prices, they very were comparable to CEX, not so much your eBay prices. And next, another classic, Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey. Next, not the greatest of wrestling games, but part of the old Monday Night Wars back in the day, WCW Nitro. Next, this from CX. I know this, it's still got the sticker on it. I'm only really going for exclusives on PS2, and that is Driver. Next, an actual game I used to own, and I sold it because it didn't have a manual, and I thought I can't have that. So just over a year later, the only SmackDown game I'm missing is SmackDown, yep, Shut Your Mouth. And I think that's all the wrestling games I have now on the PS2. First Xbox 360 game I bought in a long time. The Bureau Xbox Declassified. Never played this game before. I'll take it's a tactical shooter more than a strategy game from what I've seen. And next is an original Xbox. We've got GoldenEye, Rogue Agent. As I said, I'm going for all multi-platform games on the original Xbox, just PlayStation exclusives, GameCube exclusives for that generation. Next, True Crime Streets of LA on the original Xbox, as you can see again from CEX. And this looks like it's from Magic Whistle Gaming, Soul Calibur on the PS3. I know this is a multi-platform game, as I think it is anyway, but with Soul Calibur they usually had a different character depending whether it was on GameCube, Xbox or PlayStation. I'm not sure if it's the same with this one, but it's too late now really. And again, I believe this was from Magic Whistle Gaming, and I believe this came out on the Wii, and that is Mortal Kombat Armageddon. I think this is one of the few Mortal Kombat games I don't have. Not one of the better ones, I believe, though. So that's Mortal Kombat Armageddon on the PS2. Next, another original Xbox pickup, again from Magic Whistle Gaming, Legacy of Kain Defiance on the original Xbox. And I'm not sure actually how many copies of this game I own on different consoles with Wii. I'm not sure if this came on, well I know I've definitely got it on the Wii, and I've also got it on the original Xbox, but I'm not sure how many light gun games came out on the original Xbox. Maybe, I know definitely this one obviously, not sure how many more, not many I tell you. So there's House of the Dead 3. And another Xbox exclusive original, Blinks the Sweeper. We haven't seen him since, so he didn't get a long way, did he? This original Xbox mascot, you could call it. And something else I don't very much buy from very often, and that is the Wii. And I got Animal Crossing Let's Go to the City. This was bought from Magic Whistle Gaming as well. As he opened up the shop for me, I thought to myself, I need to buy stuff that's on my list if I go there, and he's done that for me. At least show a bit of appreciation. And lastly, a console I've not really concentrated on, since I began this YouTube journey, or began collecting. That's another thing as well. I was supposed to start my YouTube journey probably in about 2011, believe it or not, but because of life circumstances and things that happened, it took me until this year. But that's for a story for another time. But this is a console I've not concentrated, as I said, collecting for before. So the first one I got again from Magic Whistle Gaming, and that is the first Clockwork Knight game. I think this is one of the release titles for the Sega Saturn, if I remember rightly. And then lastly is the improved, if you can call it improved, Daytona USA. I'm sorry if I'm looking around. I was looking around for a book I need to show you as well after this. It's Daytona USA. It never quite lived up, either of them did they, to the arcades. It wasn't really until the Dreamcast that you felt, yeah, this is like arcade quality. So is that. I'm sorry, I was supposed to have another two things to show you, but I'll just get them. Very professional, going off camera. But first, this book I spoke about a couple of months ago, and it's only just come out over the last few days, and that is the Mega Drive Encyclopedia. Literally, this goes over every game released in the UK and Europe and the US of A, plus all the Australian exclusives and Brazil and things like that. It includes a full Mega CD, Sega CD library, and the 32X. So it's a great book, great credentials, written by Chris Scullion, I believe his name is. He's done the Super Nintendo Encyclopedia and the NES one as well. I've read this through a few times. Great book. You can get it from Amazon. Also says you can get it from many other major bookstores in the country, so you should check that one out. And lastly, I've always been a big fan of wrestling, as my family actually invented the Irish Whip, the wrestling move. He was a relative of mine, so I've always been a big fan of wrestling. And my favourite wrestler, I've always thought, like ever since my mum and dad gave my 60 Hasbro toy wrestlers to charity, that if I ever to buy them back, it would be purely on nostalgia. Because to me, if I was going to put them on a shelf like I would as an adult for display purposes only, I want the best looking, most detailed figure you can get. So basically, I went by them principles, and the first one I got of my favourite wrestler, Macho Man Randy Savage. I'm getting this out of the box when I've got, well, think of a setup I'm going to put these on. It's going to become a theme. I'm going to get the greatest heels and faces from each era. Well, here's my favourite. But from that era, you couldn't have anyone else. Or you could say Ultimate Warrior, but mainly you have to have Hulk Hogan. So this is going to be a new theme of mine as well, to go with my horror NECA figures. These classic elite wrestling figures with high detail and things like that. I'm probably going to get the best heels and faces from the eras I liked in wrestling, which probably doesn't include anything modern, to tell you the truth. So I think that is the last of the pickups, I believe, to show you. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope to see you next time, and I hope you'll take care. Thank you. Goodbye.